420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid health insurance program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is Afede Muzu. Welcome to the Ghana Agenda. Today we are in the Buckeye state of Ohio. We are here to memorialize a good friend of ours, my good friend, Emmanuel Yao Asensu, who passed a couple of days ago. But of course, we also don't want to leave our audience alone this weekend, since there were some very important issues that crop up in our country that needs discussion. So today we're going to do two different shows. The first show is to discuss the Ex-Gratia issue. We know Togbe Afede, who used to be Council of State member, retired, has been offered Ex-Gratia of almost some 300,000 cedis. And he decided to return that money back to the government. Is that a good thing? Should he be taking his Ex-Gratia and leave us all in peace? Because of course he's taking some other allowances, right? Or is it that our Ex-Gratia regime, per our constitution, needed to be taken a second look at? And that's what we'll be discussing today. Today I'll be joined by my favorite regular panelists. I'm talking here about Efa Ameya will be joining me. I would also have Apollon Gasto, who is also called Lifetime Legacy, speaks for the NDC, and we'll be joined by the communications director of MPP, which is Efa Ameya. Paul DeSoso would also be joining us, and if we are lucky, we would have Dr. Ato Danso also joining us. In the meantime, if you're watching for the first time, this is a political show dedicated to Ghana. We talk about issues about finance, the economy. We know the inflation is killing us. We know the Russian war is having its toll. COVID-19 is still on the rise in our country, and so many different things are going on. And those are the things we talk about on the show. So if you're watching for the first time, please hit the subscribe button so that anytime we come on live, you can get a notification or the alert on your phone, and you can join the show and join the discussion. Again, my name is Afede Muzu. What I'll take the next 2 minutes to do is a quick break, so I could check the green room to see whether my guests are seated and we are ready to start the conversation. Please share the link so that your friends and their friends can also join us. We'll be right back.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid health insurance program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's take another quick minute again. I see my guests are trickling in, but let's take another quick minute. We'll be right back. We are talking about Ex-Gratia, and we are memorializing my good friend, Yao Asensu, Papa Links, today. So we'll be right back.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama, really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid health insurance program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. My guests are having a little difficulties now. One of them apparently is in the studio, but I couldn't. So again, we're taking a quick break. Please stick with us. Don't move. What we are discussing today is going to be very key, very important. So I really, really want you to stick around and enjoy. First of all, it is likely I would also open the phone line so that you can make your contributions. So please don't go anywhere. Tell your friends to tell your friends to tell their friends that the Ghana Agenda is on, and today's topic, it's one about whether or not Ex-Gratia, which is constitutionally sanctioned, it's actually something we should take a second look at. All right, we'll be right back.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid health insurance program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome back to the show. My girls are trickling in now, but I would like to hear what you have to say about all these things that actually occurred over the last week period when, of course, Togbe Afede of the Asogli State, in other words, a big airway chief, right, who is very respected, owns a lot of businesses in Ghana, who believes that the work he does on the Council of State is a part-time job. It's not something that he does full-time. He heads the Economic and Special Initiatives Committee that he has actually presided over several meetings, but it is not something he sees as a full-time work that will require for him to be paid for the 4 years that he was there. That's substantial amount of money as Ex-Gratia. Now, let's also look at that from the perspective of Ex-Gratias in general. We know our parliamentarians, when they serve for 4 years and they leave parliament, they get big amounts of Ex-Gratia. Then they serve again for another 4 years. When they leave, another Ex-Gratia. So one person can get Ex-Gratia for multiple times, 6 times, I heard in some cases. Should we start thinking about how this type of things are impacting our economy? I guess that's the big question. So I do have Lifetime Legacy joining now. Lifetime Legacy, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good. So I am in the state of Ohio today. I am here to mourn with a brother, which is going to be the second thing I do today. So I have a separate show set up starting from 5 p.m. That would cover a memorial event that we are doing here in Cincinnati in honor of one of my good friends from university days who we just lost. But at the same time, I didn't want to just leave our audience this week without tackling this very important issue. And that is why if you see the flyer, you will see that I have 2 issues on there. One memorializing Emmanuel, and then the other being the Ex-Gratia issue. I know you don't know my friend, but of course, it's just like one of us, our age, and it requires that we all pay attention to our relationships with our friends, check upon them, build, even the relationship stronger, etc., etc. So if at some point you like to share a word or two, I'm happy to take you on to that. But welcome to the show. Quickly introduce yourself and let's get the program going.
Thank you so much, Fred. As that's my private name and known on public or audience. Former youth organizer, Fabric Man, West NDC member, USA. Member of
Send me that. All right, so I just lost the link to Lifetime Legacy there. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back and then continue the show.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome back to the show. I think Lifetime Legacy is having a little technical difficulties there, but we're going to continue the show. So let me give you the facts of what happened last week. I know most of you have seen the videos that went around with the former Council of State member returning his Ex-Gratia, and that became an issue. People commended him. People were saying, that was a good gesture from him, that we have all these people in the system who are receiving this colossal amount of monies, and they never think about the poor and the impact some of these funds could be having on, the purse, or the public purse. So for one person, for one individual to actually decide to return his, that was a commendable feat, that we encourage a lot of that. But a couple of days after, we've also seen the anchor, or Paul Adumotri went in town, or some will say was so hard on the chief and actually questioned the motive behind returning the money, talking about he's taking salaries. He should return a little more than just the Ex-Gratia. So that's exactly what we really want to go into and answer the question whether we should take a second look at the current Ex-Gratia regime per our constitution. The constitution says that, some government officials, when they leave government, or for instance, that they have to leave their current employment, their businesses, in order to come and work in the government. And that when they leave government, it becomes difficult to immediately find something else to do. So the Ex-Gratia is a nice bridge between them leaving government and finding the next kind of employment, or the next way of fending for themselves. Now, how many times should one be given Ex-Gratia? For instance, let's say I was a member of parliament. I lost my seat, so I'm out of parliament. And should I get Ex-Gratia when I come back to parliament and that same thing happened to me again? Should I also get Ex-Gratia for each time that I exit parliament? It creates a situation where people get more than 6-7 times of Ex-Gratia at any moment that a parliament is dissolved or the parliament ends, and we have to transition to, or after every 4 years, that's it is likely people are getting Ex-Gratia. Should we take a quick and a total review of this program? Lifetime Legacy, let me know if your video and sound is working perfectly, because I think you were having problem before. I lost Lifetime Legacy again. Okay, we'll take a quick break. Let's go fix Lifetime Legacy's video, and we'll be right back. In the meantime, I have Mr. Barnabas joining. He says he's joining from the United States. So Barnabas, thanks for joining. Banaras Khan, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you for joining the show. And if you have any questions, comments, please just leave it in the comment section, and we'll read them out so our readers and viewers can also hear what you have to say. Lifetime Legacy, if you can hear me, I need to know that your video and sound is correct. It's working well. Lifetime seems to be having a challenge. Try to use your phone or go to the computer and see if it will work for you. We'll take a break. Lifetime, try to fix your thing. I'll give you a call so we can work on that.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right. Welcome back, my man Apollo Gasto. I still can't hear you. You're having difficulties. Try your computer or try something else and rejoin the program. But in the meantime, we're just gonna keep going. So, like I was saying, Lifetime, if you can hear me, just say something so I know you can hear me and that your things are working. Now, Lifetime is back off. All right. So, like I was saying, the chief of Anglo of Asogli State, Togbe Afede, who has been a Council of States member from 2017 to 2020, after dissolving of the first term of the president, and who hasn't been called back to the council, recently found out that a big deposit was made into his account. So from him, he reached out to the bank to figure out what was going on, where the money was coming from. And he was told that part of that is Ex-Gratia. This is what he said himself, because I think he had an interview on Joy FM but yesterday, where he, seek to clarify what actually occurred and his reasoning for returning the funds. So the question we are asking now is, should he be returning this money anyway? Because what kind of precedent is that sending? And people are actually commending him for doing so, because it seems he puts the people, the plight of the people first. He cares about the public purse. Is that what it is, or he's just trying to make a political statement? Because others are saying, my friends on the MPP side are saying, this is just political, that the chief, has been paid for work he didn't even do. Paul Adumotri accused him of attending only 16% of cabinet meetings, to which he came and refuted. He says no, that he attended a little more than 16%. He said he was in charge of a committee in Parliament, and that committee was, sitting and deliberating on economic and special projects, that there was no way any of those meetings would occur without him, that he attended all of them since he's the chairperson of that committee. He organized them throughout his period. But of course, he's a busy man. And so he's saying that his role on, or the work he did there, he considers as a part-time work. And for that part-time work, he doesn't think he should be paid some 300,000 cedis. That's a lot of money. That's somebody's salary for 3 good years. People don't even make 100,000 cedis in Ghana a year. So looking at that, he says, don't give this to me. Use it for something better. I don't want to, contribute to, we are all going through some hardship. People are not able to afford 3 square meals a day. Transportation fares is going high. People going to work. Everything is going high in Ghana, and we are blaming it on the Ukrainian war. We are saying that COVID-19 has had a significant impact, and that we should all tighten our belts. So it is amazing that as we say we should tighten our belts, we are giving 300 plus thousands to a chief who doesn't need it. This chief, in fact, is dusted. He's rich. He has money. He has businesses. And so is it right for him to say, I don't want it? Would you say you don't want it if you are him, if you have enough? But what kind of precedent is this setting? Of course, there are other people who also serve on the council, who may not be as well to do as the chief. Is the chief saying they should also bring theirs back? Or what is the chief saying? Is the chief saying that the entire Ex-Gratia regime should be revised? Listening to him yesterday, I didn't think he wanted the whole system to be done away with or reviewed to where we limit how much we pay to every government official as Ex-Gratia. Essentially, what he was saying is Ex-Gratia, though it's important, should be paid to people like parliamentarians who perhaps after leaving parliament find it difficult to find employment. Some of them have to leave their current employment just so they can come to parliament. So, it depending on where you find yourself in the political aisle. If you are MPP, you are looking at it as though, the chief is playing politics, especially knowing that if he can return this money without necessarily making a fanfare about it, without publishing anything or releasing a statement saying that he released the money. Of course, he could have just done it without the fanfare, okay? Which will be seen as not being political. But the fact that he put it in a public domain, that he returned the money, of course, he wants to have a policy impact. And because of that, people are saying he's playing politics. That chiefs should not be playing politics in our country. They should be fair. They should set example, the right tones for people to follow, emulate. I now have Dr. Ato Kominadanso joining. Dr. Ato, welcome to the show.
Hello, how you doing? My greetings to you and cherished listeners, my friend Lifetime, calm as always.
Yes. Lifetime is having a hard time with his connections to the Lifetime. Can you hear me still? If you can, say something so we can hear you. So I think Lifetime is still struggling. So I thought let's start a conversation. Go ahead.
Before that, so for some reason, every time I see Lifetime every week, he looks fresh and fresh. I don't know if he's getting some e-levy money. I keep saying this, and he doesn't.
Lifetime is in opposition. I don't know if they are distributing, I don't know if they're distributing the e-levy money to the opposition as well. So Lifetime, if you can hear us, confirm whether you are getting some e-levy money or not. All right. Okay. So, Dr. Ato, I am in Ohio. A friend of mine, we lost a friend of mine, so I'm here to cover his memorial. Painful as it's our age. We went to university together. His name is Emmanuel Yawasensu. We call him Papa Links. So after this show, starting from 5 o'clock, I have another show which is dedicated to his memorial. So I have that on our flyer, but we are not necessarily talking about that. But of course, as a young man as well, if you want to say one or two condolences to him, would all be appreciated before we jump into all the good things that have been discussing so far. Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're saying, it will be a very painful loss. So my condolences to the family, and I can understand how difficult it is to come to be an immigrant in someone's country and die young. So condolences to you and the family, and I hope everything goes well. I hope God would bless his soul and till we meet again.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much for those kind words. So I've been ramming here about Ex-Gratia and the fact that our very respected chief Togbe Afede had gone out to publicly tell everybody that the 300 and over thousands that he's been paid, that he's returned it. So the question people are asking is, why is he even going out? You can return it and be quiet about it. Now, him going out signals that he wants to have some policy impact. And what is that policy impact? What is he interested in? Is his interest in having the regime, the Ex-Gratia regime change? Because we know in Ghana, people receive multiple Ex-Gratias. And this is a country where we lack so much, even though we have so much. In other words, we are paying these huge sums of money to people for something like working as a Council of State member, something Togbe himself views as a part-time position. What is your view on that? Do you think Ex-Gratia is about time we take a serious look at that and see if some reforms need to happen in that arena?
Oh, my friend, it's long overdue. It's sad that a country like Ghana, that we talk about protecting the public purse, and we're giving people work for only 4 years, and they get like enormous amount of Ex-Gratia. Like I've heard people say that Ex-Gratia is not in the Constitution, which is right. We don't see any Ex-Gratia in the Constitution. But there's a committee set for people to make recommendations to how much these people are supposed to be paid. And the sad part is like you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Some of these people who are in these committees get a chance to be in these positions where they'll be able to get all these gratuity or Ex-Gratia. So how can you tell me that you select, say, 4 people who may nearest future become members who would enjoy it? I mean, I don't know how it's like a conflict of interest kind of situation.
Right.
I mean, some people are making less than, say, $2 a day.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why people would kill to become MPs. People will kill to become political leaders, because they know that at the end of the day, at least if they're able to serve only 4 years, because the amount of people are spending even at the grassroots level, because they know very well that if they're able to move up to the ladder, only 4 years of work. I know it's a contract, like you are contracted to work as an MP for, say, 4 years, or to be in other positions for a short time.
Right.
And why should you be receiving all this enormous amount of money? Where teachers go on retirement, and the amount of money they receive every month, it's just very meager. It's ridiculous that, like a country like Ghana, I don't know how much there are people in the MPs, ex-MPs, and the congressmen and people in the House or Senate, how much they make in the US when they retire. But we may have to find out. But how much we pay our MPs in Ghana when they retire, it's ridiculous.
Right.
And if I may add, I think Togbe is the toast of the century for doing that gesture. My only disappointment is that he gave the money back to government. Where would he do that?
Right. So you think he should rather have given it to perhaps a needy institution like a home or some school or something?
Yes. Because you're putting money right where there are worms and people to come and spend the money anyhow.
Right.
That's my only disappointment. I respect him, and like I was saying behind closed doors, if there's something he had even done half of what he did, you'll be hailing him as the wisest chief, the wisest king,
right,
in the whole wide world.
Right.
But because it's Togbe, look how we are reacting to it.
So you think there is some sort of the reactions we are seeing has some tribalism laced with it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, of course. It's clear for everyone to see. Clear for everyone to see. I'm telling you, if it was any other chief,
right,
people would not have a touch screen reactions to. I mean, this is a no-brainer. I thought it was a no-brainer. Someone returns this money to the government, and we have the audacity to question this kind of gesture.
Right.
What kind of people are we? With no common sense.
Right. But people are saying that he could have returned this money without making a fuss about it. You know,
No.
He didn't need to go to the public and announce that I'm returning money. That was, if he really genuinely just doesn't want the money because he doesn't think he deserves it, you know, that so by making a public.
No, I support him coming out, because other people would also see this gesture and say, okay, because, and then where would the money go? Even now, I am not confident that the money will be put to good use.
Right.
So if he has really done that, it will probably go into someone's pocket.
Yeah, if he was quiet about it, then somebody would just pocket it without, knowing our country.
No, in our country, we know where we come. Even that he's been saying that he's going to return the money to government. I don't trust that. I don't trust that.
Right.
So that's my only disappointment, that he did not put this money to say charity or say build something that will be, all of us would see that, hey, so this is a legacy for all of us.
Right.
Our posterity would see this and comment a great chief,
Right.
a great human being, not just a chief. Forget that he's even a chief. A great human being. I mean, in our republic, who has ever done this?
Nah.
And who? So that's what it pains me so much. Sometimes we're very.
I mean, this is at the backdrop of looking at what we saw with Sir John, who was also put in charge of a government institution. And what we saw in his case is he actually took assets that belonged to the government and made it his own and wheeled it out.
It's appalling that anybody would even think about discussing whether this is a good idea or not. I mean, I thought this was a no-brainer. Nobody should even question whether he attended one meeting or 3 meetings, but he was paid.
Right.
Doesn't matter how many he was paid, and he chose to. He chooses to either choose keep the money or return the money.
Right.
So that doesn't even come in. He attended three meetings. He was still even attended 3 meetings. He was paid. The money was paid to him.
On that note, they knew how many meetings he attended where they paid him the money.
Yes, they still paid him. And right now we have Adwosa somewhere in the US or somewhere in the UK.
Right.
And no one is questioning that. No one is coming up with a touch screen questioning why Ghanaians should still pay Adwosa every month.
Right.
I mean, so Alfred, sometimes it's sad to be a Ghanaian. The way we react to situations, you think that, excuse my language, we don't have common sense. Like one good thing deserves another. Someone is giving this money back to government. Government saying we don't have money.
Right.
So and it's good that the Kufuor government is not questioning this. I've never seen that.
Even though the government hasn't officially questioned, of course, the underground communication.
Oh yeah, but I've not seen any official government questioning this, which is really good because it would be absurd that any person in government would question Togbe. It's appalling. I'm lost of words. I don't even know what else to say. This is a brilliant idea, a brilliant gesture that needs recommendation. I don't know why anybody would even question that. It's a no-brainer. He received the money and he feels like he could. Most people take the money. People stay at home and do nothing and take the money. So like, forget that he's a chief. Forget where he comes from. He's a Ghanaian. He feels like, hey, the money given to me. People build houses without even their own money, and we say, okay, they did well. This is his own money. His own money. He deserved that. So I don't know. So in the nutshell, I respect him for and I wish people would emulate this gesture to save the government money. But going forward, like I said, I don't know. Governments come and because they are benefiting, they will not change this Ex-Gratia thing. They would not. It's high time we come up with good ideas, because if you say we don't have money, where do we find the money? If you're paying all this enormous amount of money to the MPs, I mean, ridiculous.
Cool. Okay, great. Thanks for that spirited presentation on the Ex-Gratia right there. Let me also welcome two of my good friends to the show. Mr. Kojo DC, the man of the moment, organizer of MPP DC in the USA. I also have Erasmus Atajemfi joining. So for Erasmus and Kojo, we are actually taping today from the state of Ohio, the Buckeye states, Cincinnati to be specific, because I am here to memorialize a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine who we just lost. His name is Yao Emmanuel Asenso. We call him Papa Links. Me and Erasmus are very good friends of him, so we are both going to be there. I have a second show actually set up purposely for that, which will be starting at 5 o'clock, where, if possible, depending on how things go on the ground, we can stream it live. So people, friends of us who may not have the opportunity to be present, can also watch and witness how the memorial event is going. We are celebrating 1 week after his passing. Not like a celebration where we are having a party, but just so we can reflect together. So I know, Kojo, you don't know him, but I mean, this is a guy just like you and I here, hustling with young family, trying to make it. And all of a sudden, things do happen. So if you have some word you want to pass on to him before you jump into the conversation, I'll be really happy about that.
Thank you very much, Amazu, and thank Dr. To and what's the other name?
Erasmus.
Yes, I think I've heard the names over there. Nice meeting you guys. First of all, the Akans have this saying that so it doesn't have. I don't really have to know the person, but hey, one day we'll all be going. You don't know who will be coming to you from that. So my condolences to you, to all the friends, family, if he's married, kids and children, everybody that is involved. It's a 1 week celebration. So at the end of the day, one day we'll all be going.
Right.
You're not going to be stay here forever. So my condolences to you all. And then I wish, how old was he?
I think he's about 42, going to 43 now. When
that's unfortunate. Just life. There's a life begin at 40, even though it's changed, but it's just the life begin at just 2 years from having his 40th birthday. Some people not even reach that. So for that 42 years that he has been in existence, I'm thinking he has done a good job.
He's done.
All out there.
He's a brother. You will love him. It's calm, cool, nice, just a fun person to be around. Very loving of everybody. So that's my memory of him. Anyway, having said that, let me also bring Dr. Erasmus Atajenfi just to also share a quick reflection on about our friend, Mr. Asensu, who we are going to be memorializing today before we actually get into the political part of our discussion. So
can you hear me? I want to be sure we heard.
Sorry, Lifetime, we can hear you. So let Doctor go and then you can come in. Doc.
Yes. And hey, thank you for having me. And as you can see, I'm all morning and in my funeral regalia. We are here for the 1 week, all the way from Columbus. Hey, Alfred, we appreciate you coming through to Cincinnati. I believe you'll be here once the show is over and to do the second part of the program. But we really appreciate it. We are here for our brother. Man, our brother, he was a public figure. You know that he was a DJ too. That was his side gig.
Yes.
So people don't know. He works in the pharmaceutical industry. He's a medical guy.
Right.
And then he as a side gig, he knows music so much. He's a DJ too. He's a public figure. He's a public figure in Cincinnati here. He's a big deal, and he started this DJ gig back in Legon. In Legon. I wasn't so I've known my brother for 22 years, right? 20. Well, it's 2022. It's actually 24. I met him in 1998.
1998, when we started university back in
and Togbe, you've known him, Ralph. We've known. Look, we met this guy. We first came through. We came to the US right after school.
Yep.
Look, we know Alfred. We know Ralph. We've done things. Our brother, the calmest guy. When we were all like messed up, and I'm really watching my language here.
Yes.
When we were all messed up doing things, he will be the one to drive us home. Right. Even though he will be messed up too, but he had a coolness of the head to do all that. He was the most peaceful guy you would ever meet.
Yes.
I'll tell you this. I'm feisty. I don't take things I disagree with or things that look stupid to me easily. But he's the calmest guy. He would talk. Sometimes this guy will be talking to someone. I'm like, really, Links? Me just spoken this guy. Why are you talking to him? And he's the calmest guy. He wants to be peaceful. He wants everybody to be happy around him. Right. But you know what happens with people who are calm and who do that? Sometimes they keep things that bother them so much within them. Right. And it's rather unfortunate. Maybe we didn't have enough discussion with our brother. I would say I would talk to this guy every day on the average. So it hurts my heart. I saw him the Friday before the Tuesday. Was it the Monday? Was it I saw him the Friday before the Monday he passed.
Right.
He was in my office. We had a good time, you know. And so it's just rather unfortunate. We miss him. May he rest in peace. I know he's a peaceful guy. He's definitely in the bosom of the Lord.
Right.
And we will miss him again. And hey,
we will
this is a sad day. It's going to be a sad day for a long time for some of us.
Yes, I shared all those sentiments as well. So thanks so much for those words for our brother Papa Links. I'm gonna definitely want to keep you here unless you have to jump off, but I would like to also hear about what you think about this Ex-Gratia issue. So if you need to jump out, it's fine, but otherwise
I can, if you want me to just put in a quick shot and
sure.
Just jump off, just so you have my thoughts. This is how I feel about the Ex-Gratia.
Okay.
What Togbe did, Togbe actually was trying to alert us to a big loophole in our Ex-Gratia process. Okay? Right. Togbe was not grandstanding. He didn't want attention. This dude gives money to people. This dude is a rich guy. This dude owns companies. The thing that the claim to fame of Oforiata
that was in collaboration with Togbe. Yeah.
Okay.
So the bank and all that.
You know, the claim to fame of that partly belongs to Togbe. So we should kind of like put this in context. This guy doesn't want fame. He's just trying to point us in the right direction. Right. Our Ex-Gratia process is flawed. Why do we need to be paying people who do part-time work so much freaking money?
Right.
That's the whole thing he's saying. He and look, if we looked at his write-up, he's like, I don't think I deserve money for a part-time process. And rightly so. And I'm going to tell you right here, I am an MPP person. Okay?
Yeah, you are an MPP guy. Yeah.
It's unacceptable. We don't need to be paying these Article 71 people so much money. They are the ones fleecing the country. They are the ones making the country not what we should be. Those are my thoughts. And I have much more thoughts. Look, listen to me. You can't give money to people who are not doing work for the country as much as. Why do we have to? Judges make money. Judges go to retirement. Look, if we have a good retirement system like a 401k, why do we have to pay a judge his full salary on top of that and pay him an Ex-Gratia?
Right.
It's flawed.
Right.
That's what Togbe is drawing our attention to. He wasn't grandstanding.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. So on that note, I will see you in about another 1 hour or so. All right. And we'll continue the conversation there. So thanks for joining the show. Really appreciate you. And I'll see you soon, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right, guys. That's Erasmus Atajenfi, doctor. We are grateful for him to have joined and contributed very significantly to the discussion today. Mr. Big man from DC, Kajo DC, it's your turn. Kajo, what do you think about this whole Ex-Gratia discussions? Because we had Paul Adu Motri and he went to town on Togbe, criticizing Togbe over the number of times he attended meetings, etc. Was that even necessary, in your opinion?
All right. Thank you very much again, Amazu, and thank you for all the panelists. All right. So first of all, let me start with this way.
Right.
The gesture that the very big chief, which is Togbe Afede, did, it's a good thing. People of his stature, I know him way back in terms of how his wealth is not like somebody who just came into the scene and then become rich one day. You understand? Right. We should all give credence where credence is due. Like this man has made it in life, and it's way back in 2000 when Kufuor was the chairman of the. He has done all of that. I don't have to go repeat that, but this is the thing. As much as in terms of Adumocho thing, that ranting, you see, I have something that I always share that I want to do. I don't speak against people who are older. Even when I disagree with them, I have a nice way of doing it. Especially when it's a paramount chief. We, as Ghanaians, there's a respect that we all give to our chiefs and kings and other primate. So in that rant, I disagree. In terms of substance, I don't know if it's something that I would disagree with. Because you see, we have people who are working, but they are not working. There's so many people who are in position, they are not doing nothing, and they are being paid. So it's a different. Why didn't the chief or the king was they go to meetings that are there? What circumstances as to which he was not able to attend. So I'm not going to until I have those information in front of me. The reason before those meetings were not happening. So let that one slide. So let's come to, we are all worried because of the use of money that.
All right, so I believe we are having a little bit of sound problems, even video problems for my brother Kojo DC. We'll wait for him to come back and take his submission. Okay, I think he just came back on a different.
Yeah, sorry. I think where I am, my yard here is the internet here is very bad. So we are all worried about the monies that are paid to this article 71 holders.
Correct.
Yeah. When people work, are they supposed to have something in compensation? I say yes. But how much is where the problem for me is? Because at the end of the day, for instance, if somebody is appointed as a minister, depending on which political party that person is, or if you're not even politically known, and then you're appointed to any board or whatever thing that you're appointed to, irrespective of which political party is in power, once you're appointed to that, you're already tagged either you're NDC or you're MPP, right? And after whatever, if you're not like somebody like Togbe, who is well-to-do, barely would in the private sector anybody is going to associate with it in terms of give you an employment to do, right? So yes, people should be compensated in a certain amount where it is due, where it's fair, where people will not be worried like, oh, a teacher will work, let's say 30 years, and then after the pension pay that is given is like 30,000 Ghana cedis for the 30 years that he or she has worked. That's where the problem is. So we should all find, we know we are complaining. Whatever Togbe did, for me, I thought it wasn't necessary for him to write the letter, right? But the gesture as to returning the money was good. Whatever he has taken previously, that is fine. For now, he had decided, no, I am not going to do this. Right? But there was other benefits that he had in terms of having a car loan and having. He did not return all, but he thought, oh, I've had all this benefit.
But it's a loan. A loan doesn't mean it's forgiven, right?
Yeah,
payback.
Yeah, this is how I have a problem with it. It's a loan that was given. That is right. But those loans, they are waivers in terms of their import duties that are supposed to be paid. Those loans are waived because of the position of which they occupy. And is it his fault? No, it's what is in the law. So that one I have no problem with it. I also don't have a problem in terms of him returning the money. But what we're saying is, yes, you have done all this. You're taking some advantage of something. This thing shouldn't have come out because you knew right from onset that after your 4 years or whatever, after every 4 years, because it's an appointment, every 4 years, even is the government, the same government you're serving or other government, you're still going to pay that. He knew that. So he should have known, okay, at the end of the year, even though I have no problem with that, I'm not going to take it. You can use that money for some without writing those letters. Because for now, he has given himself away for people who are supposed not to speak in front of him are speaking out. Because it's politics. At the end of the day, there's no way we can take away the politics of it. And this is like inciting some people.
So you're saying by that letter, he has jumped into the political fray, and so it's fair game to actually criticize him for the number of meetings he may have attended.
I'm not talking about the meeting. It's fair game to be criticized. But for me, with his position, people should be very circumspect in terms of how you talk to this.
You talk back to the chief, yes.
Yeah, that's where I draw my line. But in terms of criticism, nobody's above the law. Nobody's above criticism, right? So we should be able to criticize it when it's bad or it's good, right? So that one is for me. I wouldn't have written it, or I would have said, "Hey, where I'm coming from, there are so many things that we could use this money for. Can you direct this money to the sector that I think is better?" Without saying, "Oh, this thing is bad, I've sent money, I've made all of that." No. When people are questioning the reasoning, it's just that right now that you saw that it's bad, having to, because for me, I have other questions. He served as a Bank of Ghana board chairman, right? He has served in other capacity. Was he paid any amount prior before this? And if he collected it, we all knew he's rich.
Yeah, but he also said that it's because of the times we are in. So even though he may have been paid before, when the economy was doing 8%, I mean, he doesn't necessarily call for him to pay it back, right? But when we are in a time where we are experiencing about 27% inflation, then it fits right into his narrative that times are hard, so I don't really need this money.
That was good. You don't really have to go, because listen, we have 16 regions, right? Out of the 16 regions, we all have council of member of state that are voted into those people, and then the president appoints other people. So I've always said this: let me average it in terms of the numbers, council of state, they are 20, right? Why would you only come with just one person, and then it's like you're pitching yourself against the other 19, right? And some people don't have that circumstance as to which Togbe has in terms of being well-to-do, right? So when you bring it out like this, so it's like, oh, the political elite, so-called, which are also, for me, if this thing hasn't come, I'm always against, because if we can't pay teacher training college, we can't pay NAPCO, we can't pay all that statutory thing but we can find the money to pay this Article 71. That's where the problem is. Right. So my problem is, yes, it's good that he has done that, but at the end of the day, he shouldn't have just written this letter to bring it up. It wasn't necessary. For all I would say.
Your point. Okay. So you think that it's good that he returned the money, but the letter should have not been written. But I disagree with you, and I'll bring Ato to kind of hammer that home, because he says that if the letter is not written, if this is not made public, then somebody can spend that money, and we wouldn't even know about it. That money can just disappear from the. I mean, he doesn't even think giving the money to the government is the right thing to do. He think he should have just used the money to actually do something for the needy, rather than giving it back to the government that he thinks are irresponsible enough to give him 300 and over thousands in a time when we say, hey, citizens, we don't have enough revenue, so let's raise revenue through some draconian levies. It's just. I can let you report him if you want. Yeah.
If it were me, I would have said. Do something to the government for whatever reason of good that you wanted to do. That money for the money belongs to me. It's 300 and something. It can be done. It can be used for other purposes in my so please, instead of paying into my account, let's put into this very account. So
all right. So we're losing him there. Lifetime, I'm gonna bring you in, and you have enough time to actually do your take on this. But I thought you've heard Kojo. Kojo is saying that perhaps the letter was the issue. I mean, the fact that he returned the money is a good thing, but he shouldn't have made it public. I think those are some of the things I also said in the beginning. But you have a strong position against that. Tell it to Kojo so that he can understand exactly.
So I am actually surprised Kojo is saying that, because you remember certainly he was emphatic when they went to him. I think it was the forestry minister who he said that he was emphatic. He spoke about how they said they're trying to control what he had to say.
Okay, I think
I am back. No, so sorry. Like, let me just conclude in this way. I agree with Dr. battle in terms of he shouldn't have sent the money back to that money could.
Yeah, we're still having challenges.
Of the letter, I disagree with it in terms of writing out those letters. I disagree with it because this has given it a political twist of it, right? So people are putting like, oh, why did you do this? Is it because some people are collecting it? Why are you against all the other councils of state of members? Do you understand? So you shouldn't have written it. Just go ahead, put my money into this account for me, or put it in my account, and then you just direct your bank, say, hey, use this money for this specific project, and that's it.
But the thing too is, if you really want to talk about any political leaning of Togbe is more MPP leaning. This is his people in government, you know. So
that perception is for a few so-called political elites that thinks about that, right? But you know, when it comes to this, it's just giving some kind of a little bit of bad name. Whatever government is in power, if this thing comes out, they are not going to take it lightly. They think you're sabotaging them. And you cannot take people's mind off that at the same time. It's like you can't say, oh, because Togbe is leaning towards MPP, so he can't do anything to somebody. Sometimes people don't like things that are going on. They have a way of bringing it out. And as politicians, you always have to think the other way around and say, what is this man trying to achieve, right? Is it the right thinking? I don't know. But you can't also not take that thing from people for thinking like that.
Okay.
So my question to my friend is that I've heard the Asante Hino Tumfor criticize the government. I remember when they were talking about that Galamsey, that they went to Tumfor and he came out saying that they were telling him what to say and what not to say. But I never heard anybody say that it was that was political.
That was political.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
same. Maybe you never heard anybody like the way we are discussing it. But there are people who have tagged their Santihin to be NDC in MPP.
How many?
You know,
how many?
You see, maybe that you see, I will agree with you in part. Is like there are certain kings and some people, influential people, when there's any in terms of any matter that comes out, they are circumspection in terms of exactly. People try to, but that's why I was telling you earlier. I said, hey, for me, I respect every elderly person who's older than me, and especially him being a king, irrespective of where it's coming from, I have to respect that position as where he is. But some people don't care. They might use it for other things that I don't want to mention, right? And I too understand, but for all of us here who understand it. And that is where I have a problem. We should give credence to people at every level. It doesn't matter where that person is coming from. And that's how I have a problem. I say, for Paul, I don't want you to go on there and rant like that. I disagree with it. You can't do that. Right? This is a very prominent person.
The substance of what he said.
No, the substance in terms of, like I said, I can't agree or disagree because I don't have any fact in front of me that why wasn't Togbe going to the meeting? Did he give in terms of reasoning as to why he was not able to come? We don't have that. We're only saying that he did not attend. What if he was designated to another job to go do and then he went to do it? We don't have those facts.
Right. Apparently, that information is wrong though, because Togbe came to clarify that he chairs a committee.
Exactly.
There's no way that his committee meets without him. But
Amuzu, why should that even matter? Why should that even matter? He was paid the money anyway. That doesn't matter whether he went to the meeting or not.
Right.
He was still paid the money. It wasn't like people are criticizing him just because he returned the money because he didn't attend them. No. He was given the money, regardless of whether he went or not. So I don't know what Paul is doing.
So this is one thing that we all have to do. Let me finish Amazon on this one. We have this very toxic politics that we do in our country. This thing shouldn't be anything that should be discussed. Right? It should just lay down. So, okay, Togbe have done good things. Let's move on. But everything is looked or is criticized in the political way, which is very bad for our development. It's not good. It's not making the people. There are people who want to come in and serve, but because of such things that goes on, people who, for God's sake, if they meet you, they cannot even look in your eyes or say anything, and because it's politics, which is very bad.
Right. Okay, let me bring in my brother, Apostle. Lifetime legacy. It appears Togbe really wanted us to actually look at, I think what Dr. Erasmus said, which is alert us to some loopholes, some policy reforms that perhaps should be considered based on his revelation. But I think we are losing that opportunity. We seem to be rather talking about him either being NDC or that criticizing government unnecessarily, etc., when he's a chief and he shouldn't be doing so. Do you get a sense that there's a fine opportunity being presented, but here we are, as usual, we are talking politics instead of actually being serious and taking a look at our Ex-Gratia regime?
Alfred, thank you for the opportunity to be on the platform once again. Thank you to my co-panelists who have also made time to be here, and also to our audience who are watching or listening to us wherever they are. Alfred, my first condolences goes to you for losing a friend, and my second condolences goes to the family. I am saddened for the lost, most especially somebody being an age mate. I am also within the 40s. So him being 42, I can consider him a junior brother, and losing somebody of that age is very, very disheartening and very, very sad. And most especially, what makes it even the sadness the most is not that this is happening at home. It's happening on a foreign land. And my condolences once again to you and to the family and any close relation or friends. It's extremely sad. I wish something like this don't happen to people who are in a foreign land or in a diaspora for greener pastures. It's very, very sad. Very sad that the family back home will just hear that they are a son and this is what has happened to him. So that is on my condolences to you and to the family. Alfred, you also know that my party yesterday celebrated 30th anniversary, and there is no way I'll be on this platform without congratulating myself and all the NDC members all over the world. If we are enjoying a stability in Ghana now under this fourth republic, the longest fourth republic in the history of Ghana, it is our brainchild. So congratulations to all NDC members, the leadership, the flag bearer, the party hierarchy, and the leadership here in US as well. I would say that let's continue to do what we need to do. Let's continue to do what we are doing. We are the bedrock of the nation. And in this period time in the country, the only hope Ghanaians have is NDC. So let's prepare our home and come strongly to rescue the nation as we did in June 4th also. We came to rescue the nation. So the honor lies on us. Let's put our house in order and come back and take the realm of the nation. Alfred, now back to the main topic for the discussion today. And MPP insulting Togbe, MPP insulting Togbe for returning his Ex-Gratia. I am using the word MPP because there is a saying in Akan that goes like this. Openya otina homa nkola ewe nankano say ya bonankarefo a ono eka ho, to wait to every elderly person who will be in a house and look on for the young ones to commit a wrongdoing when you are classifying people who are wrongdoers, there is no way you can classify those people without adding the elderly person because he looked on or he behaved irresponsibly. Why am I saying this? Alfred, MPP for me is gaining the notoriety of insulting chiefs that they don't have allegiance to, or chiefs that are not coming from a chimp or in a Ashanti region. They insult them they take them to the cleanest. I'll give you a first example. The first person to insult a chief in MPP was BC Afiapori, insulting the Omahini of Ogwa Traditional Council, Sarben Makwesiata, describing his kinship as a Hinjenjan. I'm taking you back memory. The second person to insult a chief, for that matter, the paramount chief of Togbe Afede, was Akufo-Addo and Kwame Sefakan. Kwame Sefakan set the pay, and Akufo-Addo came to insult the Togbe Afede. So that is the second one.
Right.
Now, the third one is what Paul Adum Ochi has just done. So, to it, if Akufo-Addo can descend so hardly on Togbe Afede to insult him, call him all sorts of names, there is no way his followers can also not go around and rampage insulting chiefs. I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Right.
So MPP is gaining or has gained the notoriety of insulting chiefs that are not from Ashanti or in the eastern region. Now let's go to the merits of the main issue. Alfred, as somebody who believes in the equity of sharing the nation's resources, I will commend Togbe for what he has done. I am not commending him because I am also the son of the region, but I'm commending him based on what he has done. Alfred, Togbe, I'm saying it on authority, contribute to our defeat in 2016, but that is not a subject of discussion. Okay, I am this is so when like you mentioned early in your intro, Togbe is more pro to MPP than an NDC. Togbe does not need this money because Togbe have a lot of businesses that are giving him more than what he was given.
Right.
Togbe holds the largest share. I think it's not less than 70% shares in Aloes, a company I have worked for before. Togbe is also a largest shareholder in Africa Online. Yeah, and Togbe also is the largest shareholder in Asogun power plant. If you know what money, when you look at areas where money are made so much, Togbe has situated himself in those areas. So to him, this money is a peanut. Okay. The symbolic, for me, it's what is very, very important. We are in a time where the president is saying that we are in a peril time, the nation is suffering, and he came out to tell us that he's reducing some percentage of his salary. The current Council of State in session also came to tell us that they are sacrificing some percentage of their salary. So if people and those in authority now have showed the way, why should Togbe become a subject of discussion if he also joined the chorus?
Right.
So you see the dishonesty and the hypocrisy as far as the MPP is concerned. You see, let me tell you the reality of this, the genesis of all this. The genesis of all this is because before 2020 election, Togbe was the president of National House of Chiefs, and he was seeking for re-election. Unfortunately for Togbe, there was an issue, and the government alleged that the council, the National House of Chiefs, were consulted, and Togbe came out publicly to say that no, we have no clue of this particular thing, and for that matter, the House of Chiefs disassociated itself from it. That is one. When a Japa issue also came out, Togbe and the National House of Chiefs also make their opinion known to the citizenry and also the nation at large. So this is where Togbe became a bad person to the MPP. So during his re-election, the MPP, led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP machinery, supported the loss of Togbe Afede during his re-election to the House of Chiefs.
Right.
You get it? And there are many other issues Togbe have made his opposition or have made his opinion known to as a citizen, not just being a chief, but as a citizen as well. And the government of the day did not take it kindly. When we were in power, Togbe has so many occasions say so many things against our government, but never did we come out to respond to any of them because of the respect our party attached to chieftaincy and also religious, traditional authority.
Right.
You get it? Unlike our brothers in the MPP, if you are not from the Ashanti region, like Dr. Atto said, and you are not from the Achimemu, then you don't deserve to be treated with respect. And for me, as the saying goes, to every animal that is coming to die must struggle. The MPP, if they think that is their best way to go, they should continue. But I am solely disappointed in my fellow Votarian who are in the MPP, who could look on for their paramount chiefs or the leaders of the region to be insulted without they coming out to say a word. If they will follow their stomach to do what they are doing, they should continue. Posterity will be their judge. And finally on this, Alfred, Paula Dumochi is ungrateful animal. Very ungrateful.
Why do you say so?
There is a say in accounts that says that suggests that the hand that feed you, you don't bite it. Togbe have paid Paula Dumochi school fees before. Paula Dumochi wedding car was owned by Togbe, and at that time it was top of the range. If somebody can do all this to you, and for you to come out to be ungrateful to the person in that manner, I have this word of advice to the MPP. If Paula Dumochi today could forget what we have done to him in the past and treated him with this kind of disrespect, the Akufo-Addo whose hand is feeding him today, he will bite it in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for those again powerful submissions there. I just hope that this is not this is not any it shouldn't be a tribal fight, right? Even though we say that if these comments were made by other chiefs from other tribes, that we wouldn't have heard the backlash or the criticism we are currently hearing. All right. A question is here posted to us for answering. I think Divine Odonko says, anyone can make public whatever example he sets for others to emulate. It is up to the observers and commentators to do what they can out of it according to their own nature. All right, so he's pretty much bottling everything we've put out today in terms of our presentation. He's pretty much saying that people have the right to say what they have to say, but we who come on shows like this to commentate, we who have a loud microphone in our hands, perhaps should be a little circumspect when it comes to how we distribute this type of information, and it should be based on our nature. I don't understand that part, but we'll take it. All right, Donko, thanks for watching the show, and please share the link so others can also join. Let me take last words because we are running to that 1.5 hour mark. I see I still have Dr. Okay, Kojo is back to us. I also see I still have Dr. Atto with us. Dr. Atto, do you want to give us your last word before we bring the program to an end? Dr. Atto, are you with us? If not, could you
right.
leave us with your last observations?
Okay. Let me just diffuse a little bit about what my brother Lifetime Legacy said about the MPP
Yeah.
having insulting things. You remember Kwame Azu, the General Secretary of the Ashanti region of the NDC, insulted Otinene. There have been numerous instances, even when the former president has even said something that it was against the Otunfo, he had to go there and apologize. So, me, I don't even want to equalize this.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, we should give respect to our kings and our emperors, irrespective of what we do in politics whatsoever. I don't care which political party that you belong to. If in terms of anything that could be criticized, we always have a nicer way of criticizing people who are older than, even when your dad or your mom does something that you always say, you don't go in ranting and insulting, right? So that's the thing that I have to say on that. So on this program, what the chief we have done is a good thing.
Right.
All we all have to do, and this is what I'm advocating for, we should go back to this 1992 constitution, which I'm saying this on authority, and I don't have a problem with it. I am against what my president said, that we cannot do anything on this 1992 constitution. I think it's a bad thing. It's a bad example. When we're in position, we say we need a review of the 1992 constitution.
Now you're in power and you love all the powers in the constitution.
Exactly. That's the thing. And like I'm always been emphasizing on this 1992 constitution and other things that people are enjoying in public offices. These are for expatriates. That was when our colonial masters were doing in terms of coming to our country and enjoying all those perks that comes with it. We are living in our country. We should go back to the drawing board. Stop all these perks that are given to people for no work done. Most of them, the productivity, most government agencies don't bring any money, but they are being paid.
Yeah,
so we should go back to
government becomes the most lucrative form of employment in the country. So everybody wants to be in government, and it shouldn't be that way. Private sector should be where money should be made. Even that's what the president said when he was being inaugurated.
For me, I would just that thing that he said was a good thing, but have we worked on that? I doubt it. So I'll just have to be blunt with you. We need, for people like us, we need to know that we are living in a country where things, it's not like there's no corruption in this country. There is, but it has to become to the very minimal as to how people will love to go into public service. But in our country, where everybody goes to school, after school, wouldn't work one day in their life. All you have to do is to join one of the political parties and be so loud. And once you're loud and your party comes to power, then that's a stone that you step like you have got like a gold somewhere, and it's bad. And it's not letting the young ones trying to work hard to make something for their life. All their thing is, let me go into politics, and as soon as I go into politics, and I'm saying this way back in 1996. If you listen, I listen to Radio Go very well because I like the opposite side of the argument, so that I can argue on the other side. There's this guy who was doing Kokosa. He said, when I asked my little kids, what do you want to do after you graduate? He said, I want to go into politics. Nobody wants to be a doctor. Even the professionals, the doctors, the engineers, they are all quitting their job and then come to become a politician. Why? Because of the juicy things that comes with it. And if you don't take care, besides the Ex-Gratia, people are giving opposition a minister, you're allocated huge sums of money that you have the obligation of giving contract to whom you think is going to benefit you. And people are enjoying those things. So we should go back to the 1992 constitution, do a review, and make sure that all these emoluments that are given to people, for some reason, they are not working. They have all, look at all the kinds of things. And then let me just end with this one. It's not only those at the 71. You see, all of the people that are appointed by government, they all and people like the number of people who work at the Jubilee House, like the presidential staff, they all collected Ex-Gratia. I'm not saying just for me. They all collected. I know friends who collected $51,000 in equivalent of how much was given to them last 4 years. And they are still working there. And they are going to receive the same amount again after the 4 years of President Buhari. So we should go back, and it's not just these people, MPs, lawyers, judges, and all of that. Just ordinary people who are appointed say, hey, Amuzu, I think you are very good in community. Come to the presidency and be on. Once you left for 4 years, they pay you Ex-Gratia. That shouldn't be done anywhere in anywhere. You see, so we should go back to the Constitution, review it, and find a pay structure that after your work could pay you, and then you go. Even here, the congressman that you see, if you don't serve 3 times as a congressman, you don't get anything extra for, what do you call it, Ex-Gratia. So congressman, when you go 2 years, you have to go 3 consecutive time of 2 years before you are paid something. You see, the Senate is different, which is more or less advising to the president. But the Congress is the people's house. So if you don't go 3 times of 2 years, they don't pay you anything. Why is somebody sitting in? Yes, that's how I said here in America. Why should we do the opposite of our country? We have people who have 10 Mugabes. They are sitting in there at the parliament, and they've been taking every 4 years.
Right.
Take Ex-Gratia and go. Why?
Right.
And we are complaining we don't have money. And anytime you want to touch those things, they say, oh, no, don't touch it. We should fight against this thing so that it will be changed. So we can that's why you spend almost 50%
beneficiaries. So it's gonna be tough, you know.
See, my brother is talking about, oh, this is no good. And when his people come, they're going to forget to say, oh, don't worry about it. It's not the same as the law. Me, I'm in government. I'm speaking against it. When NDC come or whenever they come and there's something, I will speak against it because it's not good.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those for speaking against and speaking your truth. You know, it's not always that you find people in government actually telling it like it is. All right, Dr. To, what are some of the final wisdoms you want to leave with us, or final words you want to leave with us for this Saturday, the 11th of June?
I want to say that I admire Kojo for being bold and saying that, hey, I'm in government and I'm against this.
Right.
When NDC comes to power, he'll be against it too. But I think my friend Lifetime would not do that. I don't foresee him doing that.
You don't know that, right?
I don't foresee Lifetime doing that. But I'm surprised that people get Ex-Gratia for 4 years. Say every 4 years they get Ex-Gratia. So they can serve every 4 years and get Ex-Gratia like 4 times.
Yeah, so a good example is
it's not cumulative. It's like it's
a good example is an MP that was in Parliament since 1990. Bagby. It's Parliament since 1992. Got Ex-Gratia every and this is the 8th Parliament. So he's got like 7 Ex-Gratias.
Yes.
Now he's Speaker of Parliament. He's gonna get his 8th Ex-Gratia. You know, it's just.
So you think that this is the person that we've entrusted that he can be a leader?
Right.
So
and he hasn't returned a penny. He has not returned a penny.
No, and not a penny. And if Togbe goes ahead and does this, hey, we have a problem with it.
We have a problem with it.
So we cannot be hypocrites every day and speak that our country will grow.
Right.
We have to speak truth to power. We cannot be like Kufuor said. We cannot be just spectators and just be watching.
Right.
So like I said, I admire you for being bold. And I hope that whenever they come to power, I don't envisage Mahama coming to power 2024. I know
that is a very good prophecy. I like that.
Don't make Paul call you some names.
That's my brother Paul. If I say that he's against, that's what he say. He called me names. Right. He's not here. I know he's been turned from Saul to Paul to now Thomas. That's fine. But like in the nutshell, I agree with what my brother said. I agree with what Lifetime said. We have to come up with a better way of this Ex-Gratia. All these people who are suggesting or who are recommending gratuity, are the same people who are getting Ex-Gratia. So it should be me and you, or you and I, who should be able to come up with ideas, but we won't get a chance to do that.
Right.
So hopefully the NDC come to power, if ever they come back to power, and then maybe they come up with ideas. But right now, I don't think anything's going to change. Right. Thank you very much for the time and your lovely listeners.
So much. Let's see if Lifetime Legacy can commit to criticizing his own government when it comes to power.
Alfred.
Yes.
You see, in us, like as somebody of who believe in the ideology of Nkrumah and also socialism, you see, this is a man who have lived his life. Even the clothes he was wearing belongs to the state at that time.
Right.
I don't believe that people should be paid such a huge sums of amount if there is an opportunity for them to go to parliament after re-election. Right. But there is something that we also missing over here. And I'll be glad if Dr. Tu and my brother Kojo can also look at this in that regard. You see, until 1996, going into politics was not, it does not involve so much money.
Right.
Okay, does not involve so much money. It involved commitment, the hard work you have exhibited for within your locality. That is what people look at. Until after 2000 election, when our brothers in the other side got the power, they introduced monocracy into politics. My brother Kojo can disagree, but this is a bare fact.
Right.
I started my active politics from 1996, and I'm speaking on authority. So at that time, when you are working for a candidate, a parliamentary candidate, or a potential aspirant, you are doing it for the love of the person and the joy of belonging to that particular group. But now that is not the situation. NPP, like I said, after they've won 2000 election, have introduced vote buying and monocracy into politics.
Can I
tell
you why?
Why?
Yeah, go ahead.
So before 96, it was monopoly. It was JJ and his cronies.
Right, because 92 MPP didn't even go to parliament.
I know, but I'm saying that before 96, it was monopoly. JJ was in charge. He was just used. You know, I don't know. Probably I don't know when you were born and what time you followed the NDC. The way JJ Rawlings spent Ghana money in campaigning, you cannot just say that NPP came up with no. It was just monopoly that they got.
Dr. Tu, you got it wrong on that. Let me tell you, those days, if you are a party member, you are committed in dues paying. After, let me tell you, now that monocracy have taken over the stage of politics in Ghana, dues paying have gone down.
It was, that's what I'm saying. It was
let's do this.
It was only JJ,
let's do this.
Controlling everything. You know, you remember the militia days?
No. Okay, we're gonna do that, JJ, and we're gonna do. I think it'd be a good topic to have actually monetization of our politics.
Yes,
because somehow I personally would think that we should have a state-sponsored campaigns where we don't know where all this money are coming from for this campaign, and the presidential candidate, by the time they become president, they're indebted to so many people. Their hands are forced to be corrupt. Until we sort of fund campaigns on the national budget so that every political campaign has about the same exact amount, and your expenditures will be audited so that if you spend more than that, you have to come and answer as to how you spend that. And if there's anything found, you can be kicked out of government. That should definitely help. But that should be a conversation we have for another day. I just need you to commit that.
Yeah, so I am coming. I'll definitely
come
to that point. So, like I was saying, I was privileged to have witnessed Ablikuma South election. The first MP how the election was run. I was privileged to see the second MP in my tradition, Fritz Bafo in Ablekuma South, how the campaign was run. I was a key member.
Right.
You see, so after in 1996, the candidate we have then was called
I want you to save that for that conversation when we talk about political campaign finance.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that because our brothers and MPP have monetized our campaign and politics, you notice that somebody spend his own resources in winning primaries. As for the filing fee, they are normally paid by the political parties. Then the person gets into parliament. Now, the responsibility comes on the person that the community development and a whole lot of things, some are on his shoulders. And when the person is seeking for re-election, now, by virtue of our brothers have opened delegates how they should expect money from candidates and all that kind of thing. Now it have gotten to a situation where even internal politics, okay, it is meant for the highest bidder. Things that are not even in the NDC in the past are now happening. So you realize that in so doing, people what the MP have gotten over the 4 years when he was in office, he gathered those resources and spend it again in his affair. So in that regard, for me, if the person is an MP who is not on any other opportunity, if the person will sacrifice his job, some will even live here in US, go back like my comrade, the MP for Asene South, who left, denied his Canadian citizenship, went to contest the election, won, and was serving his people. Such a person have lived a whole lot of things in US here. Money that when he's making here, when you sum up all
those are choices, right? So are you saying because of that we should pay him Ex-Gratia every 4 years?
I am saying that when that money is paid to the MPs, okay, I don't have problem with it. But I have problem when it is paid to judges who are retiring on their salary, having to benefit Ex-Gratia every 4 years. I have problem with members of Council of State who were past servants of the nation, that have retired on their salary, having to benefit that money. It becomes double pay.
Right.
You get it. That one, I have problem with it. So
Okay.
it is time we look at our constitution again, do amendments, correct some of these things, anomalies, and then move on. And I think it's one of the responsibility I will expect my government to do when we come into power 2025.
Right. Okay.
Can I just end with it? What my brother just said in terms of monetization. Yeah, something. No, I just have to go. This thing, I started my active college in 1992. You remember Nana Pedu was given position, they were going around. I don't know how old were you. I was in high school then when they were going. Everybody was giving money to go around. That was my first time I had Gary and Bill from Nana Pedu in my school in everything. Right? That's where they brought it so the money thing has always been there. But you should remember one thing. There was one government in power for 19 solid years.
Right.
So there was money that was shared among certain people that certain people were not having. When Kufuor came into power, that's when the whole market opened. If you look at it, I was really reaching impact in terms of how expansion or how explosive the Ghanaian community, everything was kind of turning into money, right? Like now we are free. We are not afraid of Papa Jerry again. Papa Jerry is gone. So the businessmen were showing off how much they've made. And there are people within the political elite.
You don't think because the MPP had been spending money for a very long time to come back into power, so by the time they came back to power in 2000, they owed so much.
Yeah, but if we owe so much, look at what we're doing. Even now, the NDC who were vehemently against President Kufuor in whatever way that he was governing, say, President Kufuor did the best thing ever, the Fourth Republic.
In comparison to Akufo-Addo, right?
No, in comparison to all the presidents, including Papa Jerry, who had 19 years.
Nobody, no NDC person have compared.
Yeah, technically, if you look at it, for me, maybe changing the Ghana city, I thought that was
normally we compare the two of Akufo-Addo and Akufo, the two favorites under the fourth republic.
That would be for another discussion. But what I'm saying is, monocracy has always been existing. We see the NDC when they are going to. You say intra-party politics is even dangerous than inter-party. You know.
So we know
that's when people pay money.
The accusation that for Tubeji golf and all that. So, like we said, this thing has been with us. So,
even Nkrumah, who was one party state, was paying people to be quiet.
Right.
When you don't collect the money, they put you in jail. So that can never be existing. No,
that is not true.
Even,
yeah.
What is not true?
But anyway, guys,
we'll have to have the discussion.
Let me say a big thank you to all of you for making the time to join. Next week, we are still going to host a show, even though I'll be in Pennsylvania having an exam. But I'll pick my equipment with me so we can still do this. So if it is Saturday, I pray and hope that God gives you strength and that you'll be able to join me again. Thank you so much, Dr. Ato. Thank you, Kojo DC and Lifetime Legacy for making it today to discuss this Ex-Gratia issue. I think this thing, we should be talking about it until they fixed it. This is one of the things that should piss us all off, right? Regardless of whether you're NPP or NDC. All right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend.
You said, man, my condolences again. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let me bring back my friend one more time. Okay. So that is the man we are going to be memorializing in about some 1 hour from now, Mr. Asensu Papa Links. We mixed him, and hopefully he's there looking on us, smiling down in peace, resting. Thanks for watching the show. This is the Ghana Agenda for today, which is June 11, 2022. We'll be back next week. Have a good rest of the week. Bye.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid health insurance program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.